I'd like to take a few moments to talk to you about creating a drag-free drift on your fly line so that you get a few extra seconds out of your cast for that fly to stay stationary on target so that fish can have another second or two to look at it before the current drags that fly away. One way to do that is by casting what we call reach mends. Let's assume that we're on the riverbank and the river is flowing from my right side to my left side. In order to create a drag-free drift or give a couple of extra seconds of that fly to be stationary before it's dragged away by the current, I can create a cast called a reach mend to the right, where the fly line goes upstream, lays upstream, and then I reposition my rod to the fish, and you'll notice that I've got a nice curve, upstream curve of the fly line, so that the current can pull that before the fly is ever moved. That's a reach mend to the right. The way I do that reach mend is I make the lift of my fly line, I false cast till I think I'm going to be accurate with my cast, and at the stop I immediately lay the rod tip down. I simply make my stop and lay the rod tip to the side. Watch that again. I'm going to make my stop and immediately lay the rod tip down to the side. If I make my stop and I lay the rod tip down to the side too late, this is what the curve will look like. The curve will end up being downstream to begin with, so it automatically creates a drag on that fly. So you want to make the stop and immediately come to the right so that you have a nice upstream mend. When I pull my rod tip back facing my fish, I've got a nice slack that's created on to the right. Now, if I want to do it on my left side, get over here. Let's assume that the river is now moving from my left side to the right. Now I want to, at the stop, I want to simply lay the rod tip down to the left side. And when I reposition the fish, you'll notice that the slack is on the upstream side of the current, and it will be pulled before my fly is ever pulled away. When you first start practicing that cast, make your loops a little wider than you typically do to give you a little extra time to make that mend. Once you start practicing and you get better and better, you will find that you can make the mend immediately with a tight loop, and you don't have to have that extra second or two to make a good cast. You see, great slack for that upstream mend. That's how to do a right and a left mend, reach mend cast. I'm Keith Richard, Master Casting Instructor, here with A Hero USA. Check them out on aherousa.com and become a friend today.